Anna Vaughn with Travel Mama Anna Vaughn. I'm not with Luna Tuna today because today what I have to talk about is very much an adult conversation. It's something that comes up a lot in conversations with friends, but I don't really talk about it on this channel, mostly because I prefer to talk about the fun, positive stuff that I do with my daughter, which is never ending. This is a bit more on the negative side of things, but it's a reality. I also write for an amazing mothering blog about modern mothering out of Toronto, Canada called The Rebel Mama. And even though I wrote this article a while ago, it was recently published about dating single dads. And this is a topic I really want to discuss because the thing is that it's a graveyard out there, people. It is a graveyard. Dating as a single mom, it's not like I'm chomping at the bit to meet somebody. But like, wow, I had no idea that it was as bad as it was. Dating has never been this bad in my life until, I had a kid and I started, of course, I want to date someone with a kid. I mean, I have a kid. And excuse my French, but like the single dad fuckboy is like another ring of hell, okay? Guys who don't see their kids and then use them to pick up single moms. Yeah, mic drop. And it brings up a bigger conversation about what is our standard in fathering. The standard for mothering is really high. You need to be beautiful, fit, stay-at-home mom, but somehow have a really bitchin' career. You need to be having a great social life, keeping yourself, plus you need to be keeping your relationship going. You have to basically drag yourself over the coals just to meet the bottom rung of the ladder. But it's like continuous criticism. I don't go for it. For me, I just am like, whatever, I'm a great mom. The proof is in the pudding. We'll see where my kid is when she's an adult. I'm a great mom. I don't need to worry about it. But what is our standard for fathering? Now that I am a parent, I look back on who I was before and what I thought the standard was and what I allowed to be the standard, and I'm appalled at myself that I allowed what is really continued all over the world. So I'm gonna walk you through some of it today. Also, if you like this channel, like it please. I love likes. Who doesn't like likes? Women are taking their clothes off on the internet just for likes. We love the likes. If you wanna subscribe. And if you wanna share shit with people, I ain't against it. Okay, so first I think what we have to think about is like, why is the standard so low? Louis C.K. has a really good bit about this where he's like, I go to the park with my daughters and I'm lionized for like holding a baby at the park. Like women do this all day long and nothing happens for them. And I think because the standard is so low, 50% of children in the world are born without fathers. It's like when we see a guy doing anything, we're like, yay, go. And that's great. I'm all about positive reinforcement, but the grand majority are not even handling the basic amount with their children. They're not paying. This is the big one. I gotta say, I bought this lie. When I was a single woman and I didn't have a child and I dated men and they gave me these long stories about how awful their exes were and that's why they didn't pay child support because the exes made it so hard to see their kids. You know what? I met a lot of shitty women. I met a lot of shitty guys. I met a lot of single parents in my life. My mom was a single parent. It's like the rat in the burger, Everybody's heard the story, but no one's ever seen one. I have yet to meet the woman that turns down money for her kid or who's taking all the money and spending it on herself instead of providing for her child when she is the sole caregiver. It's mathematically impossible. And yet we toe this, and I believed guys, and now I would never believe anyone. It is 2018. You can literally send somebody money with an app. And if somebody really does refuse money from you, there are all kinds of savings plans for university educations that you can put in your children's names. You can still be putting away, and I mean a minimum of 25% of your income. If anything under 50 is kind of gross, but I'll take 25. Even I'm willing to lower the bar a little bit. So that's the number one fuckboy. Doesn't pay for his kids. There's also a basic dad. He's like the kind of guy that sees his kid every 2 weeks. And, if you're in a Western country, you just need to be a decent human being and you can see your kid as much as you want. Personally, I don't date guys who see their kids any less than once a week and they have to have an overnight, and come on now. And if they can't, or they're working towards that, that's great. And they can have the space to go and work on that, and I'm really supportive, but I'm not interested. I see my father once a year, but he's still a daily presence in my life. There is no excuses to not be in your kids every day. I grew up with a single parent mom. My dad wasn't around growing up, but things have changed in my adult life. And, I heard all the excuses growing up from other people, from my dad, from my mom. I've heard it all. I've seen it all. I've heard it all. And now I'm a parent, and I just know that, even if I was separated from the partner and I was a man, I would still be figuring out ways to have a relationship with my kid where I could be present all the time. I dated so many men before I had a child that didn't see their kids. I thought it was totally acceptable to see your children every 2 weeks. I really did. I really did. They send money, they see them every 2 weeks, that's enough. Unless the kid wants that, is it really? Sometimes there's extenuating circumstances, I understand, but let's be honest, we hear a lot more about circumstances than we hear about people creating a basic relationship. My good friend Brianna says all the time, if you see somebody every 2 weeks, that's an acquaintance. And the last guy is the guy that shows pictures around, but he's not in any of them. I can't even tell you how many guys I knew like this before, and I just bought it every time. I bought it. Now that I'm dating dads, men tell me all the time, oh, I'm a dad, I've got 2 kids. I'm like, oh, great. And then when I start asking questions, they don't know anything about them. They haven't seen them in months, but they're using them to pick me up. That is awful. And it happens a lot. I can't believe it. It happens so much that I thought maybe I was vibrating the wrong thing out. How am I going to look at my kid every day and know that you don't even see yours or know anything about them? Why would I want someone like that in my life? And I think that women should stop sleeping with men like this. I think that men should be held accountable with jail time like they are here in Guatemala if they don't pay their child support and they don't have a relationship with their children. In the same way that I was held accountable with my body, with my pocketbook, and with my time for having a child. Lots of women have kids and don't want them. Lots of them, just as many as men. Lots of women are not prepared to have children. Lots and lots and lots. But the expectation that we take it on full time is very high. And why isn't it equal? Having said that, I really feel for the good dads out there. First of all, when I see a good dad, it is the sexiest thing. A really good dad, not just some guy who holds his baby like a fucking medallion walking down the street once a year. People that really care about their kids, really tell you about their kids, really know a lot, are really present and really trying their asses off. If I was one of these men, I would be absolutely gutted, ashamed, embarrassed that is not the standard by which we are parenting going forward. And I want to see a change. Again, it's 2018. Let's change this, ladies. Stop sleeping with fuckboy dads. Stop. If you have a mother, stop. If you are a mother, stop. We are more powerful than you think, us women. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of comments. I know that there are stories of bad moms. I know that there are stories of great dads. I have some fantastic dads in my family that fought and got full custody of their kids. I'm not saying they're all bad, but there's a lot of them, a lot. And people, women and men, just believe this story of the evil ex, the evil mom. Some woman is preventing me. You're a grown man. Why is another person preventing you from anything? When I hear that, it sounds more to me like I don't care enough. It is not a priority to me, and that's why I'm not doing it. Let's start, treating bad behavior for what it is. It's not that I'm saying that we shouldn't support men, because we totally should. We should support good behavior in everybody. I just mean that I see a trend in that a man says something and people take it at face value, especially if it's against a woman. And when women do things, people still don't think it's enough. It just seems really unequal. And I'm trying to say 2 things. One, if we're going to give that kind of rope to male parents, then let's give that same rope to women. Let's believe women. you know? Or if we're gonna hold women to this impossibly high standard, shit, let's do it to guys too. That's it, that's all I gotta say. I am a little nervous about the comments, but I hope you go easy on me. I would love to hear your stories of bad daddom, or just your bad dating stories, I mean in a fun way. And, you know, if there's great dads out there, please get a hold of me. I'm single and available.